Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Expedition Dogman. My name's Jamie and I will be your host for this evening. Tonight we're going to start on an entirely new topic, dogmen of the UK. Now, I was reading on dogman/werewolf sightings the other week and there was a guy on there, I can't remember his name to be honest, who posted saying that dogmen don't live in England. I'd like to prove him wrong, to be quite honest. And this is going to be a series. Hopefully we will have some special guests on the show, others, accounts and tales sent to us, like tonight's for example from Ronnie Cox, and his report is as follows. And above, in the video I shall put photos of where this incident happened. An experience I reported to Deborah Haxwell of BBR, and I reply. So he obviously wrote, "Hi Deborah, I felt compelled to contact you after reading your post on the 19th of the 10th regarding Neil Courtney's account of his experience, as I feel it almost mirrors my own. I would have been 17 then, and the friend, who's nameless, 15. It would have been around September 1986, and myself and around 15 others had been messing around a spooky house that was situated in the golf course just outside of town. It was around 9:30 at night, and we were heading back to the estate we lived in. Everyone else decided to walk along the long way home by road, but me and a friend decided to walk the towpath home and save around roughly 20 minutes. We hardly made it 75 feet along the path when we heard a roar. I describe it like a cross between a lion and a bear. And just like Neil, we felt this vibrate through us also. We never spoke, but both of us took one more step, about 10, and double timed it back to the group. We did talk about this when we were away from everyone else, but we were at a loss to explain it. This incident had a profound effect on me. I grew up playing by the river, and all our teenage days and very late nights were spent there. However, following this, I would not be there unless there was a large group of us. At this time I worked in an industrial estate across the river, and used to walk the towpath to get there. Not after this. I actually walked to the other side of town and cut across rather than go that way in the early hours. It was a good few years before I would walk that path alone. Incidentally, a friend and his girlfriend had an experience at the same location a few years previous. They reported to have seen large, glowing red eyes up in the trees, and then heard whatever it was jump to the ground and go crashing through the undergrowth. That area is a large swamp. Sadly, I never asked him about it, as apparently he would become aggressive and hostile if it was brought up. He took his own life several years later. I have been reluctant about telling him this due to the location and how close proximity it is to residential areas. For reference, it occurred near the Lagan towpath beside Old Warren Estate in Lisbon, County Antrim. Now this is actually taking place in Ireland. I am also wary, as there are a lot of doubters out there who love nothing more to rip people who think long and hard before rating to pieces. I marked my account with an X on the overhead pics, and the friends with a circle. The other two show the location of both from opposite sides. That's his account. Now Deborah put back to him, "Ron, thank you so much for contacting me and sharing your experience. Here in England, most of the reports are not in the wild places. They take place on the greenbelt land, close to council and industrial estates." Now, that's weird, because if we look at the old stinker, the Beast of Barmston Drain, he has also been spotted in industrial areas. For my American friends who don't know what a greenbelt is, it's common land. You cannot build on it, and most towns and cities over here in the UK have this. So moving on anyway, very similar to the area you and you had your experience. I do have a report which is a few miles away from your experience. It happened on the Legan Road. Man sees 7-foot tall Bigfoot / Woodhouse on the Legan Road. Kerr, Down Island. What he saw was in 1998, in the middle of the night. He was returning home and driving along the Black Skull Road heading towards the Thorny Ford Bridge, which meets the Lurgan Road. This creature stood on the road. It must have been at least 7-foot tall, black/brown covered hair. It blocked the road, but no more, so that seeing it, the thing immediately kick-started my fight or flight, and I braked hard, sliding to the car to a stop. The headlights really exposed its red eyes. Reversing back the road was clear. They're the accounts. Now, do I think it's a Bigfoot? No. Bigfoot generally don't have red eyes, and dogmen have been known to be seen with either red eyes or amber eyes. So personally, I would lean more towards this being a dogman. So I asked him whereabouts it was. He told me this is about 300 yards from the old Warren Estate and Woodland in Lisbon, County Antrim. Obviously a major waterway with 4 graveyards within 1.5 miles. Now that little paragraph adds so much more definition to the story. You've got the water source, you've got shelter as you'll see in the images. There's tree lines. Dogmen love trees. We proved this when we went to Barmston Drain. And the graveyards. Dogmen and graveyards go hand in hand. Now here in the UK, it is commonly known that dogmen protect graveyards. That's the old Native American tradition. And usually you'll find these creatures among that area. And he's put, yeah, it's Northern Ireland about 10 miles south of Belfast. And that is his encounter. That is in Northern Ireland. So, is it a Bigfoot? Or is it a dogman? I think it's hard to tell without exploring it, but unfortunately, travelling to Northern Ireland is not easy. Pardon me. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's a dogman, a Bigfoot, or something else entirely? So, I'll keep endeavouring to try and get more eyewitness accounts for this series. And until next time, my fairy friends, be aware of the howl.